You're live.
Bonjour. Ние jouons Nakas. We have Mr.
Our old friend.
Yes! Oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've seen you. Would you care to introduce yourself?
I'm David Suzuki, and I was a co-founder of the David Suzuki Foundation. But these days I say, I'm David Suzuki. I'm a grandfather and an elder.
Nice, nice. First-hand grandfather. We're going to work on the grandfather laws in Canada, eh?
Yes.
Grandparent
Absolutely.
laws. So welcome back to Thunder Bay.
Thank you.
So this time you have come on a mission.
Well, it's really to congratulate the people. Thunder Bay was one of the early supporters of the Blue Dot movement, and the city in fact has embraced the idea, which is great. The idea is that we want as many communities to adopt the idea of a right to a healthy environment, and if we get enough grassroots level support, then that will go to the premiers of the provinces. We need 7 provinces with more than 50% of the population of Canada to support this idea, and then we can go to the federal government and say, we want a constitutional amendment. We think that every Canadian should expect to have a right to a healthy environment. Now you'd say, well, of course, who's against that? What is a healthy environment? Clean air, clean water, clean food from the soil, clean energy. There are a lot of people who would be threatened by that. You mean I can't dump my emissions or my toxic chemicals into air, water, and soil? You're damn right, if we want a healthy environment. So I don't think it's going to be an easy sell, but 1 out of every 3 Canadians now lives in a jurisdiction. We have more than 140 communities that have signed on to the right to a healthy environment. That's more than 1 out of every 3 Canadians lives under that. So I think that we've got a good shot at this.
Nice, nice. So can you tell us a little bit more what exactly the Blue Dot movement is?
So the Blue Dot refers to our home, planet Earth. When you look at Earth from space, all you see is that beautiful, tiny thing. And you see no example that there's human beings on there. It's just this beautiful thing. And you think the layer that we live in, called the biosphere, is a thin layer from space. It's like saran wrap around the planet. That's our home. And you think of all the wars and the battles and people trying to be big men or all that. It's nothing in that little tiny blue dot. And now we're saying, let's look at our home from space. We are now poisoning the very layer that we live in. And it's time to change things around. That's what the Blue Dot movement, let's keep that thing blue and intact, and it's all basically, First Nations would call it Mother Earth. Mother Earth. That's not a romantic or a poetic way of speaking. This is what I have learned from First Nations. When you say Mother Earth, you mean it literally. And when you think about it, we are created out of the body of Mother Earth. The air, the water, the soil, the energy that's trapped by the sun. That's all what makes us possible. And that's given to us by Mother Earth. You would never treat your biological mother the way we're treating Mother Earth. And so I thank my First Nations teachers that have taught me this, not just in Canada, but around the world. Mm-hmm. Indigenous people around the world understand that. Mm-hmm. And this is a message that we're trying to spread, and it's not an accident that in every community we've been with the Blue Dot movement, it's been Indigenous people we've invited to join us. And they have gladly supported us because they're the ones that have taught us. Mm-hmm. We've got to now use the Blue Dot movement to relearn what Indigenous people know.
Sweet. So when you're traveling now with this Blue Dot movement, what is the message when you talk about the environmental bill?
Well, the message, a political one, is we have to get enough support to put pressure on our premiers and then on our federal government. But the message underlying why are we doing this is that we are so obsessed with the economy now that we had 9 years of a prime minister who said, we can't do anything about reducing emissions, it'll destroy the economy. So by saying that, he elevated the economy above the very air that we depend on. The economy was more important than the atmosphere. This is madness. So we're trying to get back to very simple things. We keep running out, the economy, the economy. You can't change nature. We all depend on clean air, clean water, clean soil for our health and well-being. The economy is a human invention. You know, we act as if we've got to serve the economy. No, the economy was created to serve us. And now it's causing a lot of problems with Mother Earth. So we've got to change the economy. Instead, the politicians say, you got to sacrifice public social services because the economy's in bad shape. No. We're in bad shape. We need a different kind of economy. We've got to change it. That's part of the message. We've got to find out what are our priorities. How do we have to live on Earth to be healthy and happy and well cared for?
So one of the first priorities is, what do you think? Solidarity?
Well, of course. I mean, people all say, well, you have to, you know, you're flying, Suzuki, you're flying around in a plane, you're a hypocrite. Or, you know, you've got a gas-guzzling sports utility vehicle, you're a hypocrite. Wait a minute now. We're in a period of transition. We know we can't go on living this way. But right now, the important thing is solidarity. So that people understand what is it that is our highest priority. I said this to the CEO of an oil company in the tar sands of Alberta. I said, what do you think is the most important thing every human being needs? And any child would tell you in a minute. And he went, and I could see he's wondering, is it a job? Is it money? Is it a company? Like, I said, look, Mr. CEO, if you don't have air for 3 minutes, you're dead. If you have to breathe polluted air, you're sick. So surely, even though you own a big oil company, surely you would agree with me. Clean air has got to be the highest priority of any human being on the planet. And then you go through water and the soil, you know, those are things, without them we die. So how can you treat them the way we treat them, by putting toxic chemicals in them? So clean air, clean water, clean soil, those are the highest priorities. Then you ask, how can I make a living? But we're doing it the other way around. We say, the economy is everything. You got nothing should destroy that. And pour more junk into the air, the water, the soil. We got it upside down.
Wow. So a message, any special message?
Well, that's my message.
People out there.
My message to all Canadians is thank the Indigenous people. They haven't been wiped out. Canadian policy since contact has been get rid of those damn people. They're a pain in the ass. We want their land. So we'll do it by trying to make them into copies of us, or cultural genocide. Wipe out their culture, their language. And thank God there are still people in Canada that understand their Indigenous roots. So the first thing all Canadians should do is thank them for hanging on to that, and then say, teach us, please. Teach us what you know and what you're fighting for about living with Mother Earth. We need that.
Absolutely. I'm so honored to have met you, Mr. Suzuki.
Thank you for having me.
You know, and just to let you know, our Grandson Nation is being a lot more closer to the earth now since I've met you last.
Oh.
And I really thank you for that. And thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to share?
No, it's your interview, not mine.
Yes. So with this, Dr. David Suzuki will be at the Waverly Library this evening. If you have any questions, or
yeah, it's sold out though.
It is. Yeah. It is. I hope to see you there, and if not, it'll be recorded, live streamed, and you'll be able to obtain it. I'm so honored that you are here, blessing Thunder Bay again with your presence, and Chimikwich.
Thank you.
So with that, mi joe tomo, Kanishnabe Nakas, Chimikoj, haho.